In today's episode, how much it will cost you to repair one of the rarest Lexus models. We'll also cover everything about the Ferrari Enzo crash on the Autobahn. We'll explore how a Ferrari F40 was stolen and recovered 2 decades later. We'll recount the tale of how robbers stole a Rolls-Royce right under the noses of its unsuspected owners and how it was eventually found. We'll also talk about this. So let's dive in. This Lexus LFA was involved in a solo collision with a fire hydrant, resulting in a significant damage. Given the rarity of LFAs, only 500 were ever produced. One might assume that one less LFA exists after witnessing the damage visible in both images and accompanying videos. However, fortunately, this particular LFA is slated for repair. The incident occurred back in January following a car event in Georgia when the owner admitted to losing control on wet roads and making contact with a fire hydrant. Upon close examination, the damage appears extensive. The most conspicuous damage including a gaping hole in the carbon fiber passenger door, missing taillights and sections of rear bumper, and the torn driver's side rear quarter panel, also crafted from carbon fiber. Additionally, the wheels are bent and the glass is shattered, and the signature triple exhaust system of the LFA shows signs of distress. Interestingly, despite the severity of collision, deployed airbags are apparently absent, suggesting minimal interior damage. Similarly, the engine bay appears intact, with a high-revving V10 engine showing no visible signs of harm. This indicates that the structural integrity of LFA remains intact, with repair efforts focused primarily on damaged exterior components. Repairing a limited edition Lexus supercar like LFA poses a unique challenge, as sourcing replacement parts is not as straightforward as it would be for mass-produced vehicles. According to the owner, the current repair falls between $400,000 and $500,000, with individual components such as the door priced as high as brand new Toyota Camry, which is $40,000. Some parts like the driver's side mirror are exceptionally rare and difficult to obtain. Although the cost of repairs surpasses the original sticker price of $375,000, the current market value of LFAs at auctions ranging from $800,000 to over $1 million makes repairing the vehicle a viable option. Of course, you could buy a new Hurricane STO for the price of this repair, but that car isn't worth $1 million. At least not yet. Despite the considerable expense, the decision to restore the LFA highlights the vehicle's iconic status and the owner's commitment to preserving automotive heritage. Fix up this legendary supercar might take more than a year, but hey, it's all part of the fun for us car enthusiasts, right? And guess what? This isn't the only recent wallet-busting accident. There was another accident with a Ferrari Enzo on the Autobahn. So this Ferrari Enzo skidded for an unknown reason and smashed into a barrier, sending bits of it flying for about 200 meters. One of the flying pieces even hit another car and injured 3 people. One of them were hospitalized. Pictures from the spot show that the front end of Ferrari all smashed up, including a missing wheel. Folks over at the Ferrari chat forum reckon it might be fixed, but it's sure gonna cost a small fortune. Haggerty reports put an average Enzo at whopping $3.5 million, with the highest sale in the US reaching $4.51 million. Fernando Alonso even sold his Enzo for about $5.9 million in 2023, so it's possible that this banged up Enzo is still worth a ton of cash. The Enzo, launched in 2002, was Ferrari's follow-up to the legendary F40 and F50. It was the height of car design, taking cues from Ferrari's winning streak in F1 races during late 90s and early 2000s. It's got a see-through panel that shows off its ferocious 6-liter V12 engine, which churns out a massive 650 horsepower and 485 pound-feet of torque. When I think of rare and pricey Ferraris, it's hard not to mention the recent returned Ferrari F40, which went missing for over 2 decades. Imagine having your Ferrari F40 stolen and then getting it back 24 years later. This isn't some movie plot, it actually happened thanks to Christopher Marinello and Art Recovery International. Marinello shared the news on LinkedIn and Twitter. The F40 was nicked in April 16, 24 years ago in 2000s, while parked outside a hotel in Villa Sante, Italy. Fast forward to 2024 and the stolen Ferrari pops out of nowhere. A deal was struck and the beloved car was returned to its proper owner. Marinello said it took 3 sets of lawyers, 2 signed documents, and 1 very happy insurance company. The Ferrari's owner must have been over the moon, especially considering the car's now worth more than 2.5 million. A mint 1992 Ferrari F40 was fetched 3.1 million at an auction in January 2024. As a thank you, the owner let Marinello take the Ferrari for a spin on a road and a racetrack. Art Recovery International, known for recovering over 500 million in stolen art, they have a crack team of lawyers, investigators, and provenance researchers. This was their first time dealing with a flagship Ferrari though. Interestingly, not long ago, a Ferrari F500 12M that belonged to a F1 driver, Gerhard Berger, was found nearly 30 years after it was stolen. Speaking of stolen cars, let's shift our attention to a recent incident involving a Rolls-Royce Cullinan theft in Atlanta. Handing your car over to a valet can sometimes feel a bit of a gamble. You might stress about a minor scratch or two, or even worse, have a nightmarish vision of your car being taken for a joyride. But the last thing you would expect is for your keys to end up in a total stranger's hands. So picture this. Last year, Scott and his wife roll up to the Thompson Hotel in Atlanta in their shiny new Rolls-Royce Cullinan and hand it over to the valet. But when they're ready to leave, boom, the hotel tells them that their SUV has gone walkabout. Not cool, right? So Scott, being reasonably upset, files a lawsuit against the hotel and gets a peek at the camera footage. And guess what? Some random dude cruises up in a white Cadillac. The valet hands over the keys and the thief leaves with the Rolls-Royce. Now you would think the story might end here, but no. Despite trying to track the Cullinan down, the thieves were smart enough to disable its GPS. It wasn't until months later that Scott spots his Rolls-Royce in social media posts, now hanging out in Texas with some serious modifications. We're talking about oversized wheel spikes. Ironically, those rims are the biggest crime committed here. Thanks to its distinctive baby blue interior, Scott recognized it. Fast forward a bit, the Houston police get involved, they nab one of the suspects, and the stolen Cullinan finds its way back to Scott and his wife. And the hotel, they've still got some explaining to do about why they're still working with the valet company that started this whole mess. The GMC Hummer EV is a behemoth in the truest sense of the word. It tips the scale at over 96 pounds and it has a battery pack that weighs almost 300 pounds, roughly the same as the Honda Civic. In the top modification, it also has up to 1000 horsepower. With all this in mind, it hardly a surprise the owner of this example has opted to make it even more outlandish with a set of massive custom wheels. This short clip was recently shared on YouTube and asserts that all-electric pickup is now rolling on a set of 30-inch wheels. On any other vehicle, wheels of this size would look ridiculous, but remarkably, they don't look out of place on the Hummer EV. They have an all-white design and roll-on tires with impossibly thin sidewalls. While the wheels alone are enough to attract plenty of attention, the person behind the wheel also thought it would be a good idea to show off the truck's curious crab walk mode. This mode both the front and rear wheels turn the same direction and it's not really something you should use on the road. Indeed, it only works at speed below 20 miles per hour. Even though it's pretty dangerous to use this feature in the public road, it obviously looks cool. And that's it for today guys, thank you for watching.